Hello, people. We are back. A2TP podcast, episode 263, and we are back for another episode of us. I am him. She is her. It's your boy, International Walt, with the beautiful.
Your girls, the co-hosts with the mostest.
And we back for another episode of us. We back, y'all back. We glad everybody back. Let's be back. How we doing with the show? Let's get right to it.
How we doing with the show?
I mean, how are you? Let's get the show
I'm
started.
Good.
How are you?
I am doing good.
What it be
great.
like? How it feel?
It feels good. It feels good. I would say mentally, I'm probably a 9. Financially, I am.
You got a little headstrong from last week.
Yeah, I did, so financially, I'm an 8, which we always are. Thank God for our blessings, and not that we have like any financial issues, but I say I'm a 9 because of finances. Because I know, we got things that we want to do, and I know that it can be stressful on you coordinating finances and all that. So that's why I'm a 9, because of finances. But I know God, God is always guiding. So yeah, that's that. Work is great. Work is a 10. It's awesome.
See how quick we just.
I work for the Lord.
Last week it was a 0, and then you turn it around. That's how quick
you know
we
what?
do.
You know what? I work for the Lord, and I'm going to speak it into existence. So, work is a 10. I am a housewife. That's my job. I work for the Lord. That's my job. I'm working on myself. So work is a 10.
That's a nice spin. I like it.
Yeah. And physically I feel good. I think I'm a 9.5. And the only reason why, it's probably been 2 weeks now. I woke up and I had like a little crick in my neck. And I will tell you, it's probably only at like a 10% now, but it is still there. I need a massage.
You don't heal when you old, and that's like you just turned 45 a month ago. So it's like a sign in the beginning of the year that, sit your ass down, tone it down, you old.
Who's old?
Not old in the sense like you decrepit, but you're old.
I'm older. I'm not old. But yeah, that's the only, other than that, I feel good. I feel great. Been, doing the things that I need to do. But as I was talking, I felt like, damn, my neck is still not 100%. So that's why I'm a 9.5.
I'm going to go 9 for mentals. I'm going to go 8.5 for finances. I'm going to go 9 for work. And I'm going to go...
Your body is
physically,
hurting.
yeah, I'm going to go 8.5.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my legs is killing me.
I tell you why. But you listen to me, and I thank you for knowing I got you.
What?
I made a suggestion and you did it, because I always want what's best for you. But I know the legs. When we did the calf stuff.
Oh.
I know the legs, because you have such a physical job where you're on your feet all day. When you work out, leg stuff, you can't go to the toilet. It messes you. So I know you don't be wanting to do a lot of leg stuff, but I think that is part of I think about when we get old, we gotta not just be healthy, but we gotta be strong.
You have strong legs.
Strong legs, strong arms, strong core. You don't want to, trip and fall because your legs all limber.
Yeah, you done got wobbly. And shit, you drunk all the time.
No, it's hard to walk.
Heavy.
Exactly.
Yeah, my legs just after leg work, I just get tight in the thighs. My calf, I had to work out a Achilles thing I had in my calf or something, but that went away. So good. I'm glad that both calves feel like they're supposed to feel, but they hurt. And then leading up to the back of the thighs, the hammies, they hurt. So yeah, it's just that leg shit is brutal for me. If I had a driving job, wouldn't be no problem. If I'm driving in a truck or some shit all day.
No, you know why it would be a problem? Because you would be so still, and every time you got up to get out the truck or something, it'd be like, oh, you would stiffen up.
Like walking around on them all day, and then they finally sit down for 20. After lunch, it'd be like, shit, I could go home now. Yeah, I could go right home now.
What's your wows and woes for this week?
What's my woes? I don't have no woes. Nothing's been... Yeah, I ain't got no woes. My wow is my daughter she texted me this week. And not that she always texts me for something, because she doesn't. I'm not going gonna put that on a jacket. But she just texts me, and I like when she just randomly texts me or talk to me about random shit, and just it just makes me feel good. Like I was on her mind, and she wanted to have a conversation with me, and you know, she's like, I ain't want nothing. I just was dropping in to say hi, and it's like it just feels so cool. That feels so good. So yeah, anytime I get some conversation from her, it's a great week.
Do you feel like in hindsight, because I remember like, when she was younger, that's what you wanted too, but do you feel like you were a little hard on her with that expectation at like 16, 17, 18, realizing that now she got it, but it just, at that age, they don't really understand?
No, I don't think I was hard on her. I think I would
Or maybe you
still
just
approach it
implanted
the
it in
same
her
way. I
head.
just don't think I had the relationship with her at that time. I didn't have the relationship equity at that time to be.
I like that relationship equity.
To be that type of disciplinarian in her life at that time, and again, we talking about a time when she was coming into herself, like those teenage girl years. So yeah, I just didn't think I had the relationship equity. I was called upon, and of course I'm a stand firm and do what I'm supposed to do, but I don't think then I had the relationship equity that I have now with her.
But it's good to see that. I'm sure that planted a seed in her head, and now that's the reality.
I would have hoped so. I mean, I would have hoped that it stuck.
Because,
the other day, she said to me, just randomly, she was like, we was talking something about work, because she was asking me how my day was. And I was like, it was Monday. I was like, yeah, this and about work. And she was like, yeah, work be killing me too. And then she was like, Dad, you remember when you bought me skates for Sonic? And I was like, you remember that? And she was like, I was the only one there with brand new skates. She was like, I was making bank then. And I was like, I was just so shocked that she remembered that. And then she sent me these pictures of her at Sonic. And I was like, holy shit. That's so cool that you remember that. She was like, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. Well, and the reason why I say it's good that she got it, because don't get me wrong, and I'm sure y'all, people out there can attest to this. There are people out there who have grown people in their life, older than your daughter, our age, or even older, who still will only call people when they want something or when they need something, who still never learn the lesson of like, that's not cool to only reach out to people under those circumstances. So that's why I say it's great that she understands that now. And I say, did you think you was being like hard on her? Because it's one of them things that at 16, 17, 18, you want what you want. And it's like, yeah, I hear you, like, but like, Dad, I ain't thinking about you just to say, hey, how was your day? But as you get older, you kind of remember that. And, so it's good that she got it. And that, again, like I said, this is your reality with her, because there are people in this world who are grown, or at least of adult age, let's say that, who will still only call people when they want something. I do the same with our other kids, our nieces and nephews. My sister is the same way with them. And she'll tell them, like, if you ain't asked my sisters or my brother for, if you haven't texted them, and all week long just to say, hey, how are you? How was your day? Or whatever it is, or just wanted to say hi or call for a funny story, whatever. If you haven't communicated, don't you dare pick up the phone and ask them for anything. My sister is very adamant with our kids about that, and they are learning that at, their young age. So I'm happy that is, a part of y'all reality.
Yeah, it's just those random conversations, and it's like she's 27, she ain't 14 no more, but it's like that stuff that it's like when you see them memes that say I'm living the life that I prayed for.
Thank you,
15
Jesus.
years ago or something like that. Like, that's how I feel. Like, the way I used to yearn to talk to her when she was 14 and 15, like, I have it now at 27. And it's like, it's just weird how time change, how conversations can change that. Or just the growth of two individuals get to a certain place to have a conversation that changes that.
Right. That's beautiful.
Yeah, so that's my wow. I don't have any woes. What about you? What you did?
I'm gonna say, I'm gonna start on a good note. My wow is, my kids wasn't, our kids wasn't doing what they were supposed to do, like around the house and, supporting their mom as far as like house stuff that they supposed to do. And we had a family conference call, 7 of us, seven, 8 of us, 5 kids, myself and my 2 sisters. And we got on the phone. We had some good conversations. We had some real talk with them, and they now don't get me wrong, it was received. Don't get me wrong. I know kids fall off quickly, but it was received. And I really felt like when we talk to the kids, we keep it real. Like it ain't no sugarcoat. When they babies, we don't baby talk. So we don't sugarcoat nothing. We use big girl words, big boy words. We use profanity, if needed. It ain't no cuckoo and all that kind. Like no, it's real talk, and it was received, like you said, and even received in some areas that I didn't expect. I ain't gonna put everybody's business out there, but even received in areas that I didn't expect. So that was just like that was a wild moment. Just happy that even in our physical distance that we still have the love and respect. And I have always told them there are 2 things that I will never tolerate from them. And when I started the conversation, I asked them what were they. And of course she was like, disrespect. I'm like, yup. And I'm like, what's the other one? And they all looking, all was like, being ungrateful. Exactly. Being disrespectful and being ungrateful, I will never tolerate. We can work through other stuff, but those 2 things, you can't get nothing from me.
It's crazy you say that because I watch my the another show about the jails, and he's like, I was there, and this guy was next to me on the phone, and I seen him put his son on jail put his son on punishment from the jail. And he was like, that nigga was on the screen crying and shit. And he was like, you gonna straighten the fuck up, and you gonna get. He's like, this nigga had like 20 years. He was like, but he put his son on punishment. Yeah. So I say that to say the distance don't mean anything.
No.
Like if you firm and stern, and the respect that they have for you. Like, I knew that shit was going to land. Like, so it's the way the kids feel about you. It's like they can hear shit from their mom. And again, they with her every day. But they know when you get in, it's like, okay, you serious. They don't want to disappoint you. And you never told them nothing that they haven't used and it worked out for them.
Right.
Whether it be respect, say thank you, like those things they implemented and it worked out for them. The communication, don't lie. If you tell the truth, you're not gonna get in trouble. That shit worked out for them, so they understand when you talk. It's like, okay, she telling us some real shit.
Yeah, and it's fun because they didn't know why I had texted them like we got a family conference call at 8:00. Then I had to tell them our 8:15 because I was doing some stuff. So y'all get on the phone. They like, what's this about? I'm like, what is all the smiles for? And everybody was like, oh crap, like. What do we do? And everybody, it was, like the Brady Bunch screen because everybody was on their own device in their own room and everything. And it was like, oh God, what's going on here? So, but that was just my why. I love my babies to the moon. And, and I appreciate my sister for allowing me to be, a part of their life in the capacity that I am. Like she'll ask no, don't get me wrong. She's a mom through and through, and she has the final say. But she will ask my opinion about stuff, or she'll run something by me like, this is what I'm thinking. Like, do you like what's your opinion? And I just love and respect that. My woe was I did something that I love to do this week, and this kind of will tie into like our first conversation. I did something that I love to do this week, and I was kind of disappointed in myself because
I wanted to have the floor with this, but go ahead.
No, I'll let you, but I was kind of disappointed in myself because I allowed other people to change my energy, and it was something that like I physically could feel and had to like check myself, and that was just a little disappointing. So I just kind of added that, I'm in this phase of not working my job that I'm working is, other than being a stay-at-home wife, is working on Natasha. And that was one of them things I had to add to my list of like not a lot. And don't get me wrong, if I'm in a situation where it's like a negative situation, I can remove myself if needed, but this wasn't an environment that I wanted to remove myself from. But I was just kind of disappointed in myself that I allowed other people to change my energy.
You got that off?
I did.
Yeah, I'm here for the jokes. So, my wife has a little bit of racial tendencies, tongue in cheek, but she has a bit of racial tendencies. Over the years, she has shared with me groups of people that have bothered her in some type of way, not maliciously, but actually like impeded in her space or tried to like make her feel smaller than what she is. But she has some racial tendencies. So let's talk about it.
Let me just preface this by go ahead.
No, let's talk about it. We don't have to preface it. You had your time. Let's just get into it. What's the issue with older white women?
It's not just older; it's all white women. So I don't want to just say.
Well, I wouldn't go. See, that's what we don't want to do. It's not all white women.
No, I'm saying my issue. Like
it's all white women. Or is it older white women?
It's
because I wouldn't want to put that on your jacket that it's all white women.
Let me just say this. Like, when you, it's not necessarily racial. It's a demographic because again, it's white women, not men. It's something about white women that, like, I'm the kind of person that I am very cordial with people, and we are opposite in a sense. I go into a situation giving everybody an A for the most part until you give me a reason to like downgrade you. Giving an A meaning like I think you're gonna be a good person, a nice person.
I give it an F until you earn an A.
Yeah, so we kind of are opposite in that sense. I ain't trying to exchange numbers or be best friends, but if we're in a shared space, I'm assuming you're a good person. Or at least good enough for me to be around, which, I'm not saying good person in society because you could be horrible. But with white women, it's this air that I feel like I go in almost giving them an F. And then them having to prove to me that, and they don't have to prove to me, but maybe me prove to myself by observing them that they don't deserve the F. I think it comes from societal things that we hear and read and see. I think it comes from the Karen epidemic that we always knew, but it like really became prevalent. I think it comes from experiences in the workplace with white women who do the bare minimum, but they have this audacity is like always on sale for them, like always on sale. It's just, or this mediocrity, but entitlement, and it bothers me. And being in that environment, it's like I come in the room and it's like, because I don't like the microaggressions. I don't like I don't know. And sometimes I feel like, is it white guilt that they feel like they have to pander to you?
Of course it's white
I would rather
guilt.
you just not say nothing to me.
I mean, they show up in spaces of service because of white guilt. But you talk about the workplace, of course, it's a sense of entitlement. I'm supposed to be here. Like this is where I'm supposed to be. This is where you're trying to get to where I'm at type of thing, especially if you have a manager or something or a person that works over you. So yeah, it's a big sense of entitlement, but that don't make you less racist.
Am I racist? Can black people be racist?
Don't hit me with that bullshit. Yes, black people can be racist.
Again, but see, I wouldn't say that I'm racist because I don't feel the same around white men. I don't, and
well, you can be racist towards a demographic, like I don't. Can I say this?
Watch your words.
Yeah,
you're employed.
I don't particularly like groups of people that, I don't particularly like to be around, but I'm not like when I get around them.
Yeah, and you know what?
You are.
You know what it is to me? I like to go into spaces without an agenda, just being myself, and I feel like when I'm around groups, majority white women, where like I'm I don't want to say I'm the minority, but I'm saying like it's more, if it's them and just me, I feel like I have to put my guard up because you're not going to get nothing off on me as far as like saying something. People talk about, white women touching their hair. That has never happened to me, and I would, that wouldn't go down. But just like saying something, ask questions. Even though we've been in, we've been in spaces and white women like, oh, I love those earrings. And I feel like it's just pandering.
What if they really like the earrings? Like, what if you got on some fly earrings? To you, they just costume jewelry if that's what it is that day. But you might have had them on 15 times, but okay, what if they really like them?
Sometimes
I watch people look at you when we're walking around, and people watch you before you even get close to them. Like I see people looking at your hair, it's like you probably live in it, obviously, but you have a bubbly personality and it shows on you. You always have a nice a chipper walk about you. Like you always have a smile on your face. Like especially when you enter a space with people, you're not just walking by yourself just cheesing. But when you enter a space with people, you say good morning, you say hello, like all that stuff matters because so many people don't. So you don't think you stand out, but you do.
Okay, here's an example.
Coming out the Wawa today, I told you, the dude looked at you before he even seen me and was like, he had to look in his face like, I'm going to hold the door for her and say something to her when she come out. Oh, shit, there go the dude behind her. That's what his face looked like. Oh, shit, there's a dude behind her.
I mean, I get what you're saying, and I appreciate it. I think that it's just the glow of Jesus shining out of me.
God.
I do. It's the glow of Jesus shining out of me.
Maybe it's because you got yellow on.
Maybe so. Jesus like yellow too. But just here's an example. The restaurant that we love, like one of our favorite date night places, it be popping in there. You remember the time the lady was walking by our table and she was like, hey. Like, you don't have to fake hip-hop dance because, and most of the time, if there are 200 people in this restaurant, there has been occasions we have been the only two, now I'll say maybe 2 of like 5 black people. And I don't care about that, but it's like, you don't have to, show me your offbeat, shoulder gig just because it's like, oh, they playing because they will play hip hop music.
That is pandering.
Yeah, and it be the stuff like that I feel like I have to have my guard. Now I will say, I can think off the top of my head, like I don't want to say known personally, but have worked with in different respects. One person years ago, and it's funny because I always liked her, and I found out other people didn't. She was a white girl. I had no issues with her. I'm not gonna say anybody's names. And then recently, there was one other. We worked together, but she was on a separate team, and I want to be very clear, so in case anybody sees, they know who I'm talking about. And she was great. I really liked her energy, her vibe. She kind of reminded me of like if this was the 70s, she would have been in like Woodstock. She was just like, hey girl, how you doing? Like just real cool, but not pandering. So again, it's one of them things where it's those, and I'm sure it's almost like, I'm sure some white women might say, oh, they might feel, and it's not that I feel intimidated, but I know white women can say they may feel intimidated around a group of black women. I don't feel intimidated at all. I feel like I have to have my guard up, and I don't like that. You know me, I don't want to be around anybody that I feel like I have to have my guard up.
I think that's one of the disadvantages, and I know you're never going to change because that's who you are, but that's one of the advantages I have and the disadvantages you have with the A first and me with the F first. Because when I walk in a room, and no matter who's in there, everybody gets an F. I think I don't know none of y'all, and all of y'all are strangers to me. Now, if somehow in this room our paths cross and we get to talking, then we'll figure it out from there. But you go in, and it's almost like your representation, like that's the first thing that they judge of you. So with me, it's almost like, damn, it's like he's just not talking to anybody. He's in the corner. He looks approachable a little bit, but not so much. Like it's kind of like ambiguous.
Okay.
It's like, okay, your representation is, hey, how you doing? This and this and that, and right off the bat they're judging you, or they think that that's fake, or too much, or this or that, and it's like, oh, here she coming here with the braids in her hair, and then they start to try to, okay, I'm gonna sun you a little bit. I'm gonna show you that I have some pull in here. So let me tell somebody what to do in front of you. I'm gonna make a decision in front of you, like that kind of shit, where it's like some shit that you probably would be doing now, they're going to try to do because I need to show you like, hey, I got some pull in here too.
And then they do this thing where like when you like check them and they'll like
that's when
I'm going to like stand like, I'm not going to look at you because like I'm afraid and I feel intimidated and I don't know what to say and you didn't agree. I said we should, give 2 scoops and you said no, we should give 3. Like, oh my God, like how dare you you didn't agree with me, and it's I don't know. It's
That's
just
when if you say something to them, then they'll cry.
yeah.
They'll cry because they'll
That
produce
victim
tears. Yeah,
mentality.
they'll produce tears because
That
now it'll be
tears.
like I can't win. I can't control this situation, and
So
this is how
cry.
I get you out of it. So I'll cry so everybody can say, "Hey, what's wrong? What did she do? We just got to separate y'all." That kind of thing.
And you know what?
And I'm never going to ask the crying person to leave.
Yeah.
Never.
Yeah. I didn't grow up with white friends. Like, I'm trying to think. The school I went to from kindergarten to third grade, some white people. Fourth, fifth, sixth grade was in our neighborhood, no white people.
I seen your class picture and you had whites in there. And
that was seventh and eighth grade.
Think that you went to school with that many white people. But then I was looking, I was like, oh, I see the school that she went to.
Yeah, so. That was seventh. No, that was actually eighth grade. So yeah, so from fourth, fifth, and sixth grade was the only time I went to school where there weren't white people. Everywhere else there was, but I never had a close friendship. Like in high school, okay, there were, it very diverse. And there are a couple white girls that I graduated with that we are friends on Facebook or whatever, but like nobody whose like phone number I have or call or talk to or anything like that. Those relationships just never organically developed.
I've had close relationship with white men.
Yeah.
3 times.
You have.
John, Brian, and Mousy.
More than Dave. Yeah, Dave, he was really cool. You okay?
Yeah. I'm good.
Dusty.
Yeah, I've had.
So you've had but again, but when you think
I say
about
close, I mean like
close, like Ben said,
like.
But when you think about it, those relationships happen organically and not for nothing. It was almost like bound to happen because you were the only black man.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like you would have just went this almost 30 years of your career never developing relationships at work, which would have been weird.
Right.
It was bound to happen.
Thing. Like I'm in a white dominated industry, so I'm around a lot of white dudes.
Yeah. And I don't know if I worked in a space that was predominantly white, would I... not that I'm against it, it just has never happened. It's not like, oh, I don't want to be anywhere. No, it just has never happened. And again, those 2 women that I've worked with, and we were very cordial. I like both of them. One from years ago and one recently. But again, it was like never like that real nurture, but maybe because of it not being proximity to.
And in construction, things.
Oh, and let me just say this. Loose. That makes sense you say that because the one from years ago, we used to catch the train together. So the more you're now, that could have went one of 2 ways. Proximity could make you realize, ew, I don't like this person, or you develop a relationship.
In closing, I
don't like you say that. I feel like you're telling me to shut up.
Yeah, we're wrapping this topic up. In closing, in construction, things are a little bit loose. You kind of know. You get to know who the racists are. They're racists in front. You can tell by the music they listen to. Confederate flags in their trucks. Like somebody might have a Confederate flag on their wallet and have a chain that hooks on the back of it. So you kind of know these people. Most of these guys got spider webs on their elbows, like that's a tattoo. Like I'm not going to try to stereotype people, but most of the guys that I've run into over the years, over 26 years, yeah, if they got the spider web tattoo on their elbow, they're probably not liking black people.
Wow.
Yeah, or Spanish people or whatever.
Yeah.
And you can tell just by comments that people make on construction sites that this isn't corporate.
And I was about to say, and in corporate America, it's very easy for people to hide.
Somebody will tell on you that you said something racist to another person. It don't even have to be the person that you said it to. In construction, it's like, damn, that was fucked up. You're like, let's go back to work. There's times where people went in closets and extension cords have been tied
like a noose.
Like a noose.
Yeah.
Because it was black people working there. So yeah, it's the N-word scratched in the sheetrock. There's things that happen on construction sites where you're like, oh, I know who I'm working amongst.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, again, that's part of my Natasha work that I have to do. Because I don't like feeling like I have to put my guard up. But I also know there's ways around it. Like, I'm never going back to that place on Tuesday.
In closing.
Since
we're talking about racism and being like black and white and all that kind of stuff, sometimes in life black people. There was lots of black inventors and lots of black people who did things for the first time. And we got to a point, I think, where we've done a ton of things and invented and been a part of some major parts of history. And we wanted the stigma of not being the first black quarterback or the first black Olympic gold winner or something like that. So, is in the professional world, in the sports world, in the media world, is being identified the first black, is it necessary? In politics, like, first black mayor, first black governor, or is it just, bro, I'm the governor and I'm gonna be a good governor? Like, stop saying this first black thing, because it kind of puts me in a box where people only see me as that.
I think there's
until I crawl my way out.
Yeah, I think there's some duality there, because when we think about, I think we have to look at it. One, we don't want to just be identified by the color of our skin, but also the recognition. It's almost like what do you call it? Like when you like snub to America, to say like the first black in Maryland, Westmore, the first black governor. He right now is the first black governor of a state. To think that in 2026, we've never, and I think he's been the governor since 2024. Like, to just now have that accomplishment is like, really, America? Like, that's just now happened? 50 states, and we vote for governor every 4 years, and that just happened?
But when you push back, just real quick, I don't want to cut you off. When you push back and say in 2026, we have groups like the Proud Boys. Like, we have things that we know and see every day in this country that shows us who they are. So right. When we see things like that, why do we get like, this needs to be a thing?
Well, again, it needs. I think it does need to be a thing. No, but is it a bad thing that it is a thing? I don't think so, because, like I was saying, the fact that we are still making history, and also I think we got to think about the next generations. I think it can prove to be some sort of motivation, encouragement, planting a seed to show, like. Because think about, like, I never even thought about the fact that there was never a black governor in all 50 states. So to hear that, it's like, wow, that's pretty dope. I hope another little black boy or little black girl, like, okay, he's the first black governor, he's in the state of Maryland. Maybe somebody in California that's 10 years old can say, you know what, I'm going to be the first black governor in the state of California. So I think it can help in that capacity, because sometimes if you don't mention it, people act like they forgot or they don't know or that it's not a big deal. And it is.
It is a big deal, but I get how we got to but we have gotten to a point as a culture to say, hey, stop identifying me as the first black. I'm just this. Like, I would like to know the data that is a kid, that's a black kid, a woman, a girl or a boy, who happens to be the first black neurosurgeon. And what was the journey? Was the motivation, I want to be the first black neurosurgeon, or just I want to be a neurosurgeon?
Wasn't it Ben Carson?
I don't know who it was. Or let's just say the first black, whatever, like some
I hear what you're saying.
big thing that you do, operating on brains or whatever, and you're the first black to do it. But when your motivation was young and you got turned on to this, was it, hey, I want to be the first black to do this, or I just want to do this thing?
I think I would think.
Because I would think it's 50-50, because I would concede that there's some people out there that say, hey, I do want to be the first black to do this if we never did it before. But I also think when you're young, the journey is just, I want to do this thing.
But it's one perfect example. Did you think we would ever have a black president?
No, but I don't think Barack said as a kid, I want to be the president.
I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is, I think that's what happens when we do it, is that we show those generations that it's possible. So our grandparents probably thought there would never be a black president.
Of course they did.
Our parents thought that. We thought like, nah, that ain't gonna happen. So it wasn't that we thought it was impossible, but yet we kind of did think like it ain't going to happen. Impossible. So that's what it is. I don't think it's necessarily like, okay, now the nobody can another black child wouldn't say like I want to be the first black president because we've had that, but at least they know now that that thing is possible because someone has done it before them, whereas 50 years ago little black kids didn't even think it was possible.
Okay, so that's something on a stretch, a high end of a spectrum, like the president. But let's say you becoming the dean of Morehouse.
This
and
well, you can't say Morehouse,
well,
that's all black, but like Harvard.
Yeah, like the first
I don't know if they ever had anything black.
The first black to be the dean there. Is it just, should that be a big thing that you're the first black dean there? Because don't you think they would look at you a certain way other than I'm just a dean here and I'm going to do an awesome job? Oh, and by the way, I happen to be black. Y'all see that every day. I'm black. Y'all hired me.
Yeah, but again, your goal may not say one of these days I'm gonna be. Your goal could just be one of these days I'm gonna be the dean of Harvard Medical School. Let's just throw that out there. And as you're working towards that, you may realize like
I'm gonna be the first.
It's black. Never been a black one. So not only do I want to do it, me doing it is gonna be so monumental because nobody that looks like me has done it before. What was we just watching? And they were talking about it was this show on I don't know what channel it is, but it was about prison and like it's called 120 hours or something like that, where they go inside of these prisons for 120 hours. And the sheriff was talking about, I forget where it was, in Fulton County, Georgia. He was saying how he was the first I'm sorry, it wasn't Fulton County. It doesn't matter. But he was saying how he was the first black sheriff and his picture was on the wall. And he said, it doesn't miss me that when you look at all these pictures on the wall, none of these other people look like me. So as him growing up, and then he said his mom, his dad, I think it was a couple people, he had a history of police officers in his family. So him growing up, he probably never thought, I'm going to be the first black sheriff, I'm going to be the first. But he just knew, I'm going to follow this career. And then when he got to a certain point, as he's excelling, and then that's when it probably realized the historical prevalence, because it's like, damn, like you got 12 white men on the wall and here goes my black face. So the next little boy that's 10 years old, he realized like, oh damn, we can have a black sheriff because it ain't never been one. I thought it couldn't be one. So that's why I think it's important to not necessarily for children to have that goal to say, I want to be the first of black, but to know that that thing is possible regardless of the fact that they are black.
In everything. Or is it circumstantial? Like the first black music teacher at the school, that should be like a thing?
I mean, at some places it depends on the environment. Because again, if you're the first black music teacher, I mean, it depends on the environment. Because in some places it's like, okay, if you're the first... I
was the first black supervisor in my company, and it wasn't a thing. Like it wasn't like, I wouldn't have wanted that in my title. I wouldn't have wanted to be like brought into the office and be like, hey, you know how things was in the past, and we're congratulating you on being the first African American supervisor. I'd have felt so fucking uncomfortable.
No, but think about your nephews looking at you thinking like, damn, like this just thinking of the prevalence of it. Them looking at you and thinking, I can be a construction worker. You know, I can work at, building buildings. And I can also be the boss in charge because they may not know, of anybody else.
So I guess you're saying that across the board then, because that would apply.
It doesn't have to be like in your title or pointed out like in every instance, but it is something that matters. It's important. Now, again,
is it necessary?
Is it necessary? No. Is it welcomed? I think that it is. And
if you were the first black woman to do something, would you want to be identified as the first black woman? If you you made a career move or something, and something happened in the next 20 years, and you was the first black woman to do something, and it wasn't like you cured cancer or something, but you killed at a job, you killed and you got this high ass position.
And if I was the first black woman to do it, and like I wouldn't mind them mentioning that, like she's the first. Not only is she,
like
blah,
they
blah,
had
blah.
one of them events that I went to, and they was like, okay, we're about to welcome Natasha, and her title, she's this, and we're happy to have her. And also, by the way, she's the first African American.
I would be proud as hell.
Okay.
I'd
All
be
right.
proud as hell to
All
like,
right.
yeah.
And I'm not saying it's anything that you should be proud of. I'm not fighting against it. I'm just asking, is
Yeah.
it necessary in every occasion? Because I know black people have gotten to a point where it was like, I remember Donovan McNabb saying, "Yo, stop saying I'm a black quarterback. I'm just a quarterback. Like, stop identifying me as that because it makes the other people look at you different when it's like, oh, you're not really us. You're just a black quarterback."
See, now I think it's a
Like
difference
that
when you're
kind of shit is
measuring
where
performance. Like for somebody to say
the expectation is different when they say you're just a black quarterback.
I think that's important because when you're measuring performance, measure me against everybody. Like to say, oh, he's the best black quarterback. No, measure me amongst all quarterbacks.
Exactly.
So that again,
So take that stigma
saying
off
that,
you.
putting that, acknowledging your. Acknowledging the relevance of you being the first is one thing, but don't compare only compare my performance to those that look like me. If I'm the best, I'm the best. Don't say she's the best, black woman that ever worked here. No, am I the best woman? Period. Or the best, not one. I mean, you know what I mean. Like she's the best black director we've ever had. So am I not better than the white ones that you had?
Doug Williams was the first black quarterback to win a Super Bowl, and I think that was of significance. But again, if you break it down the way you did, I understand that. If you're the first black music teacher at Lincoln High School and it was all white, and you in there, and it's like, okay, that's a thing because other black kids can say, hey, if I'm into music like that, I didn't know I could be a teacher at this school.
Exactly.
So
And depending on what neighborhood you're from, like if you're in a predominantly white neighborhood, but there are some black people that live in the area, it's giving that message that one, there could be some progression, or you could just have been a token higher, but either way, it could be some progression. And other black families in the neighborhood might feel like this is an accomplishment that their children could see, especially when you have those areas where where it's predominantly white. I want to pivot for 1 second. I seen this story on TikTok where this guy, he was talking about how horrible his childhood was because he was very his family was wealthy, well to do, and they wanted to give him the best schools, best environment, and they moved to a neighborhood. It was an all white neighborhood. He was the only black kid in the school. He felt just different than everybody. He said on his street, the cops used to sit in front of their door and just watch them. And he said sometimes the cops would say, like, if they would see him like in a neighborhood, oh, you want us to take you home just to make sure you're okay, like implying like you want to. And he said sometimes if like it was an unfamiliar officer, to make sure that he wasn't lying about him living in that neighborhood. Long story short, he ended up going to an HBCU, and that was the first time. You figure now you're a college kid.
Right.
Would you ever, like, we know we live in a great middle class neighborhood. It is predominantly black, but it's diverse. Do you see an issue with that? Like, if we, let's say, move to Alpine, New Jersey, because we hit the lottery, we got millions of dollars, but it's like it's a 1% black. I don't know if that town is, but I'm just saying you live in an area, it's a 1% black population. Would you feel comfortable?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. I ain't trying to do nothing.
Now, if you had kids, would you feel comfortable?
Probably. I'm gonna investigate that type of shit before I go somewhere to live.
So
Especially
that would help determine where you will live.
Yeah, what the police department is. Like, if I got that type of money, I'm going down to the police department. Like, before I buy a house and talk to people and
or like school board meetings.
Yeah, I'm going to see what's up. I'm gonna try to identify what's going on with the cops down here. Like, are they aggressive? Are they not? Do they care for black people or not? I'm gonna try to find some black people. Send some Facebook, some emails, like talk to some people. With that type of money, I'm gonna try to do all I can before I move my family, especially my kids, in somewhere where cops is sitting outside our door or harassing the kids when they come home from school.
It just made me think like, damn, you would think as parents who and he was saying like his dad would give him pep talks and stuff like that, like don't ever let nobody make you feel insecure. But you think like, damn, we done worked our behinds off to give our kids a good life, and here they are miserable because we just wanted them to be safe and have this beautiful home. At what, sacrifice?
Those are the lessons that's right in front of our face that should tell us where we live is okay for us to live, but not all the way.
Yeah.
Black, white, I had an incident today at work with a white woman getting on the elevator. And she got on the elevator. Of course, I'm a black man, and my partner is a Spanish man. And we were having a conversation, and I could see like how he shrunk because this white woman got on the elevator. And when she got off, I asked him like, what was that about? And he explained to me that he has a fear of just not looking or not wanting a woman, especially a white woman, to say he was looking at them wrong or gazing at them wrong or said some inappropriate lie, of course, because he isn't like that. But what's your thoughts on a man being on an elevator, and then his explanation um, for just for having that type of behavior if a woman gets on the elevator. Wow, I couldn't get that out. For having that type of behavior when a woman gets on the elevator.
Let me ask, because this is important. And I don't know if you know the answer, would he have displayed that kind of behavior if it was any woman or just a white woman?
Any woman, but especially a white woman, because he feels like because he's a Spanish person, like, and I guess with everything going on, he just doesn't want anybody to lie on him or put him in a situation where some shit could arise and it'd be his word against theirs. And also his job plays a part in this too. So I understand why, but I wouldn't approach things. I don't approach things like that. But what's your thoughts if you press a button on an elevator, the doors open, and it's me. It's a 6'4" black dude on there with dreads. I'm not too friendly, but I'm gonna say good morning. Like, do you want to be bothered by that in the morning, or would you just take the steps, or would you get on the elevator and not say hi or not say good morning? Like, what's your protocol when you see something like that?
So it makes me sad when I hear about his reaction. And the reason why I asked, was it a woman thing or a white woman thing? Because if you said white, it makes me think of like Jim Crow brainwashing of like,
right,
lower your gaze. Like black men had to lower their gaze when they seen and that was before Jim Crow too, but like lower your gaze when you seen a white woman, like Emmett Till, who, you know, we know what happened to him because she lied and said he whistled at her. It just makes me sad that there are people, and he's not even that old, so I'm sure there are generations older than him that have that same mentality. And not to, you know, but a great callback, those white woman alligator tears have wreaked havoc in people's life. And I would hate if
which makes you understand where he's coming from.
Right. I would hate if we had a son though, and we had I've heard people who have sons have black women or black men, black families, black parents have warned their sons about, you know, being with white girls, and you got to be careful because, you know, things might go, you know, a little far as the touching and petting or whatever, but you don't want them to lie. Like, I've heard those conversations personally and like read them online. But I would hate to have that conversation with our son. Like, you know, if you're in the elevator in the mall and a white woman get on, just look down at the ground so she don't think you're looking at her. Like, what?
Or get off.
Like, this ain't 1940. So it makes me sad. Me personally, now if it's all women, then again, it's one of them things where it's a shame that men, and I know not all men, but that men feel like they're so susceptible to that kind of potential. It reminds me of the bear or the man conversation. Like, yeah, there's some horrible men in this world, but not all of them. Like, I would hate for my son to feel like you can't be friendly, you can't be cordial. Good morning, you know, which floor are you going to? Ask a woman on the elevator because of fear that she's going to make up some, you know,
bogus
story and lie on you. Me as a woman, I've never gotten off the elevator. I am intentional about when I get on the elevator, I don't go all the way to the back. I would rather stand to the side and hold my back to the wall.
Does it matter though? Because I don't want you to go around like I don't want to make this a word salad. But if does it matter if you press the button and it's two giant black men? Are you getting on the elevator? Nobody's around. You're not in a workplace. Let's say you're in a parking lot and you're coming down to the third floor or something, the airport or whatever, and you're by yourself and you hit the button and two black men are on there. They're in their 30s. Would you take the steps? Would you get on the elevator?
It probably depends on how they look. I would not get on the elevator just because they're two black men. But I'm gonna be observant in what they look like. Meaning, like,
they got on sweatsuits, jeans and hoodies, whatever.
And they look like clean kept or whatever.
Just dudes. I ain't saying they look like they left the house and got cologne on. I'm just saying they just look like dudes. They don't look like bums. Does it matter if it's two white men?
No, same thing. Again, if their appearance matters more than their skin color to me.
Okay, this age matters. If it's two white college kids compared to two older men in their 50s.
No, I probably still would get on.
Okay.
Yeah, I probably still. And again, I'm going to be observant and I'm going to be careful about, like, I'm going to make eye contact. I don't
think you should, though.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, because I don't think you should put yourself in a situation that you can't control. And if two men are on an elevator and you open, the door opens and it's just you two on the elevator and I'm supposed to get on and go up, like, I don't think you should trust that.
Okay.
At all. Like, I don't, the fuck, what color it is. It's just a situation. I'm putting myself in a box that if something happened, were to happen, I don't control this. I can't control this. Like, these men will overpower me. You know what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying.
Take the chance. You know, and again, when he explained his explanation to me, it made me a little bit paranoid because I don't carry it that way.
Right.
I'm talk to women all day long because of they might be a liaison to a company that I'm doing. So it's like, okay, hey, good morning. How are you? What floor are you going to? Like, and I don't have a problem with that. But when he said that to me, it made me think, damn, somebody could do that shit to me.
Yeah.
Or say like I always thought it was elevator etiquette to let a woman off first. So I put my hand out to let this lady out and she was in the back. So she walked through us. And it was like, man, you shouldn't be doing that because she might think you looking at her ass. And I'm thinking like, when did people start thinking that? I thought the rule was, and maybe I'm old and these young women don't know that, but the rule is women get off the elevator first. So I put my hand out, she walked off
on
first.
and off.
Yeah, and it was like, I don't understand. I just don't carry it that way. And it made me think, should I be carrying it a different way? Because of the climate and how the white woman, the tears of the white woman will do something like that.
But I was going to say, that's why I asked, was it white women or just women in general?
He said it's women in general because you get on there, your tight pants, your cleavage is out, you looking at your phone, or, you know, I say good morning and you think I looked at your breasts or something like that kind of shit. Yeah. And he just thought the whole hand thing and you getting off first, you going to think I'm looking at your ass or you think I want to look at your ass. And it was like, I never thought that. I just thought I was being nice and this is elevator etiquette.
Yeah. Now you did have me thinking because one thing, where were we? Or maybe I was by myself. I'm not sure. One of the things that I don't like doing, like if let's say me and a man get on the elevator at the same time, I let him push his floor first. Because if I'm now he might be going to the same floor as I am, but if he is up to something nefarious, and I press the button and he like, oh, I'm going to that, So that is something that I am aware of. But I mean, I didn't want to lie and say, no, I would get off because I don't think I would. But now you do have me thinking, I would rather be safe than sorry.
Because I wouldn't be able to tell you, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like moving forward, if you're somewhere and you open you hit the button and the elevator door opens and it's a single man or two men, wait for the next elevator. Yeah. Like, you know, now if it's two men and a lady or two ladies, then that's a different story. But don't just get on an elevator and put yourself in a situation where, hey, if some shit went down, I can't control nothing in this box.
But somebody
stop this elevator and punch me in the side of my face. What am I going to do?
But you know what? It's one of the situations, like you said, if it's two men and a lady or a man and a lady, we know sometimes, what do they call it? A honeypot. We know sometimes there are situations where a woman can be part of the scheme. Look at Ghislaine Maxwell. Yeah, like we talked about, I was in the nail salon and dude came in there to use the bathroom and it was just real suspicious to me. I don't know why, because every time I've been there a million times, nobody ever just came in just to ask to use the bathroom. But also my nail salon requests only cash on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And to me, maybe just growing up in the hood. I know how people used to run up in barbershops and rob. I am always uncomfortable in a cash transaction environment and there's no locked doors. Y'all know my sister work, or y'all might not know, my sister works at a hair salon. They always laugh at me because every time I lock the door. They do too for the most part, but I'm always locking the doors because you just never know who's gonna run up in something. But I was saying to you, it could be a chick in the nail salon texting like, all right, they got, 20 people in here waiting, ain't no guard in here. When you come in, the back door is straight to the back and to the left. Like, just helping a dude scope out the situation. So I say that to say, just because it's a man and a woman, they could be in on it.
Yeah.
So now I'm never getting in the elevator with anybody.
Just don't do that if it's men on the elevator. Like, don't put yourself in a situation where you can't control it. Please.
Noted.
Let's go to the grams. We got 2. Super Bowl halftime show. Let's get to it.
Bonito
Bowl. A couple minutes on here. Lots of people had bad things to say, mainly white people, talking about they can't understand Spanish and it was bad and he shouldn't be doing this and ba 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 bit 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 bit. Get the fuck out of here. But you go first. What was your thoughts on the? Did you watch?
I did.
Okay, so
you had came upstairs. I watched it.
So I didn't know if he was on the phone or
no. I watched. And
what was your thoughts? First thoughts.
Okay.
Not warming up to it, not seeing the internet, not the next day, right after the show ended. What was your thoughts?
I love the. First of all, I love the dancing. I felt like I wouldn't wanted to go to Zumba, but I love the visual. I love a show. I don't care like
production.
Yeah, exactly. The production, like not until after the fact that I learned about all. Like I knew what the sugar canes meant and all that, but learned about the little what do you call them, Easter eggs throughout. But just from jump, it was like eye candy, including him. Sorry. But it was just eye candy in terms of the production, the show, the colors, when he fell through the roof, like it was a show. I thought I was tripping because I'm like, I thought I seen Cardi B back there, but like, and I didn't know whether she was going to come through the crowd and perform. And I'm like, maybe not.
No, just turning up.
And then later when I didn't even recognize our boy Pablo or Jessica Alba or Karol G. But I'm like looking through the crowd like I know I seen Cardi. Yeah. But I just thought it was great visually. I was so annoyed that they didn't break the thread on the back of his suit jacket. You know how like that was I'm like, how did y'all miss that? Y'all didn't cut the thread so that, his flapper can flap. But anyway, I just thought visually it was beautiful. I don't know. And probably 2 or 3 days before the Super Bowl, I was like, let me see if I can listen to some Bad Bunny. And my Spanish, I'm like a C-. No, I'm probably like a D+ C- in Spanish. So I understand none of the songs and what they were saying. If I read the lyrics, I probably could, but listening to it, I didn't understand it. So me trying to listen to it a couple days before was like, all right, this gonna be a vibe, but I ain't gonna know the songs. Like I never listened. The Super Bowl was Sunday. I never listened to Bad Bunny except for probably until that Thursday. I never even I knew what he looked like, but I didn't really realize how handsome he was until the Grammys. He just wasn't on my radar. It was a great show. The white people complaining. This is the funny thing. I've seen a couple people make this comment. White people, especially wealthy, white people, which is probably a lot of those in that conservative group that are complaining, they are notorious for attending operas, which are in Italian. And I'm sure they don't understand Italian, but they got a problem with, what was it, a 13-minute, and they'll sit in a 2-hour-long opera and not understand anything, but y'all had a problem with a 13-minute performance. Y'all understood when 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, Macarena, whatever the Macarena. All right. Nobody, y'all dance to that. When y'all go Cinco de Mayo come up, I'm sure y'all gonna be drinking tequila and putting on y'all hats and doing all that. Nobody complaining about that. But now for a 13-minute show, y'all couldn't just turn the volume up and dance. It's now it's an issue. Now it's an issue. Like, come on. Like, and the black people complaining, I just feel like y'all cooning. Mm-hmm. Sorry, y'all. Sorry, not sorry.
I watched and I saw, and the first thing that took my eye was the all the grass he had. So I wanted to know about that. And I also wanted to know, was he going to do all 13 minutes by himself, or was he going to bring out some people? I did like the fact that he had Ricky Martin and also the eye candy of Gaga. That's my girl. I like me some Gaga. I like a schnoz. So when we brought Gaga out, I thought that was super dope. I did. I learned about the flag a while ago. Like I know about that kind of stuff, so I did notice that. So yeah, I thought the overall performance, I didn't understand a lick of it until the end when he brought in all the Latin countries and he started to say them.
All the countries of America.
All the countries of
North
America.
America.
And he started to say all the countries.
Because he said Jamaica and like Haiti
but
and Canada.
It was like Jamaica. Like, so it was like hard to make out what he was saying. But I got all the countries in Ecuador and all that, Peru. Like he named everybody. And that's cool. So for me, the unity, the love, the camaraderie, the positivity, that's what the music is about. That's what he stands for. That's what he's about. So I'm good with that. I don't have to understand anything. The music sounds good. That's what people don't realize is when music comes on, right? There's parts of it. There's a melody, there's lyrics and all this other kind of stuff. But what grabs you first is the melody, the music, the composing of the music. It's not, nobody said nothing yet. It's the music that grabs you first. So that's
intro.
Yeah, that's what you hear. The instruments, the music, it makes your body move. You could tell it's positivity. It ain't no grim shit. It ain't no shoot 'em up, bang, bang. It ain't putting nobody down. And for people that have a problem with that, it's like y'all are the ones that's saying, hey, I'm the racist. I'm the people that's for ICE. I'm the people that want these people out of here. I want to be in a country where it's just us. And I saw a lady on the internet say a while ago, white folks, she was white, and she said, y'all white folks want a country where all the culture is out and you just want to live in white culture. Go do it, because it's bland as shit. It's nothing there. It's nothing there. But don't go to no fucking Mexican restaurants. Don't go to Chili's. Don't go to no fucking...
Don't go to the Chinese store.
Don't go... What's the place we go to now? Don't go to Chipotle. Don't go to fucking nowhere that is Mexican food or any kind of Spanish food. Like, don't eat it. Eat white food if that's what y'all want to live in, that culture. But don't come and steal shit and then go back over there and say, yeah, these people should be out, or this was a bad halftime show, when all of y'all eat at Mexican restaurants. All of y'all do this. Y'all rob from the cultures. Y'all live in them. Because if you had to live in just white culture, it's bland as shit. There's nothing to do there. There's nothing hot over there. There's nothing popping. There's no style. There's no anything. Everything y'all do, y'all steal from us. Yeah. There's no good hairstyles. There's no good clothes. There's no good music. Well, it's good music, but that's a different story. Yeah. But there's no good culture over there. So y'all can just chill with that shit. I love the show. I love what he stands for. I like the positivity in music. There's nothing wrong with that. Me at my big age, don't nobody want to fight. Don't nobody want violence and all that shit. And with everything that's going on in the climate, yeah, bring some unity together. We're seeing what unfolded to us 150 years ago unfold right in front of our face to them. That's what we're seeing. Them being harassed in the streets, them being door to door, their families being taken away from them, stripped away from them, being sent thousands of miles away with no paperwork. Like, that's what happened to us. And for us to sit back and watch that kind of shit, like she said, the black folks who complain about that, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's saying you stand for that shit. And you probably voted for Trump. So that's how I feel about it. That's how you feel? Yeah. Nancy Guthrie. You probably know a little more about this than I do, but I know she was the woman from the Today Show whose mom was stolen.
Savannah.
Okay, go ahead.
Nancy is who was taken.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's the mom. Woman she's the mom. She was stolen. And I had been hearing about this story, but this morning I just seen a video, because I thought it was BS. But I saw a video of the dude walking up to the door in the mask and all that. You could tell he was white because of around his eyes. You could see his eyebrows and shit. But I still think it's somebody that they know.
I think it's somebody that they know who trying to get some money. And also, people don't realize, or maybe they do, but watching on the news, they talk about where she lived. It was a very secluded area. No street lights.
It was dark as hell.
Yeah. You know who I think it may be too. It could be like a security, like the people who work at like a security company or something, Ring or Nest or something, because they said the person knew how to
Who would
disable
steal
it.
her?
Yeah,
It could be. I mean,
they
that's a
knew how to
stretch. I think it's
disable it
somebody in
because
a
it could be
family that
somebody.
want the money. That's what I think. I don't think it's somebody that put in a goddamn camera that might go home to a wife and kid. Like I
But you gotta
think
think it could be somebody that's very techy because they've
could
been,
be.
reaching out as far as the ransom notes and stuff like that. Like I don't think they're mailing the ransom notes. They know how to contact them, obviously without being able to trace the call or IP address or something, because I don't know. I think there's a lot of pieces involved. It is somebody who I think is either familiar with the family directly or indirectly through like service or something, and knows that they have money, because we know from real life and mainly from watching movies, the FBI does not negotiate with like ransom notes and stuff. They always tell you don't respond, and her family is like, nah, what you want, we gonna give it to you.
When has it ever ended well? Like when has it ever been they stole somebody, we want some money, we gonna pay, and we get the person back? Like it's just been a fair, clean, positive exchange. You go your way, I go mine. Even in the fucking movies, somebody always dies. This lady's on diabetes medication. She ain't had it in what, 12 days?
And she had a pacemaker.
And that, so like we don't know if she's taking heart medication, aspirin. Like we don't know what she needs on a day-to-day basis, what care she needs, and it's been 12, 13 days that she's been missing. If Erica was napped and we had and they did it because they knew we had the cash to get her back, and she was on life-saving medication that she hadn't had in 2-3 weeks, and you could think like, oh, okay, she might have passed. Would you still pay? Or would you start to think amongst like, it's been too long, my sister ain't had her medicine, she probably passed?
But you gotta think about this. You know how easy it is for somebody to get insulin like that. So that's when they keep saying she needs her medicine and stuff. If for somebody to have this well thought out plan,
they probably had a stock of insulin.
They probably have insulin. They probably have some heart like an aspirin or something for her heart. I wouldn't think that just because she is not taking her medicine that they're not giving her some medicine, because of course if they want the money, you're gonna need proof of life. They're not going to end the thing that could potentially get them paid. Now I do agree it never ends well, so even if they get the money and they return her, they're probably gonna still go to jail or in a standoff or something. So I that to me did, like, they were so personal. Oh, she needs her medicine. Like they can get insulin from anywhere, unfortunately or fortunately.
I think if it's somebody that kidnaps you, you end up dying because you saw them. You know who they are. This goes back to Paid in Full when they kidnapped Rich and his son. Like, if you know the people, you're not gonna get away. They're gonna kill you because you know who they are.
But how you know they might have her in a basement somewhere, and the only time they go down there, they put mask on and they don't say anything. She might be blindfolded. Just be sticking her in the arm with they could just be feeding her to keep her alive, giving her medication. Like I know it's movie stuff, but they could be not revealing. Because again, if they truly want this money, and if they truly think that there's a chance they're gonna get this money, they're not gonna ruin that. You know what I mean? Like
I don't know how this ends. You cannot kidnap somebody and get ransom successfully. Like, you cannot do it. This isn't, hey man, go to the park and drop the cash in the trash can and you go pick it up at night. This isn't, hey, here's an account number, transfer to this account. All that shit, you're going to jail.
I think they're going to pay the ransom. I think they're going to leave this old lady in a van somewhere or something, and she's going to be rescued. And then I think they'll find the people, and it's going to be some like standoff, and their lives will be ended or something. That's how I think it's going to end. Now, maybe I don't watch too many movies, but that's how I think it's going to. I think they're going to get her back. I don't think it's going to end in her demise. I think they're going to get her back. I think they're going to pay the money, and then the cops will have that to worry about. That's not.
Prayers out to the Guthrie family. I couldn't imagine.
Because we coming for my sister.
No, I'm coming for everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, but to a certain degree.
I mean, yeah, we need the proof that she is
I'm about to
still
say,
alive
we're not
well.
just like going out there butt naked wilding, like just throwing money around, like.
Yeah, but
and like what they did, what happened, like what they do, why you take them? It's just some like random stuff, or did they do something to you that we don't know about?
You can't take my sister.
What if
call the cops on her and let her go to jail?
What if they say, okay, Erica stole $100,000 from me?
You can't have her. Like, send her to jail when at least we could visit her. Her
what
kids
if she
can
stole
visit
it from
her.
people who can't call the cops? You know what I'm saying? Like, those kind of people. Like, something happened. I was with a girlfriend. She put me onto a lick. I know I shouldn't have did it, Tosh, but took $100,000 from some people that can't go to the cops.
We gonna make her get that money back. We gonna make her get that money back. Because you can't have my sister.
It's a wrap. Act 2, the podcast, episode 263. Erica, we coming for you, sis, no matter what. We ain't let nobody steal you. Episode 263. It's your boy, International Walk.
It's your girl, Tosh, the co-host with the hostess.
By now, y'all should, but if you don't.
If you F with us, you F with us. And if you don't, you should.
Peace.